everyone. Hey, sorry that we missed you on Google Hangout. Seems like just when you think you got something figured out, it throws you for a loop. Like that book, Who Moved My Cheese? Did you ever read that? But so I apologize for that. We tried for about a half an hour to get it rolling, and these technology owners, they're always wanting to change things and quote unquote make it better.
It's a way to move our cheese to see what we're
Yeah.
made of.
Yeah, to see if we could turn around and punt. This is us punting. So we still wanted to get a message out to you guys. We promised you we would. And, Kevin and I were talking about some different things today. And first of all, we've had a great response to the all-in promotion. There's so many people that have contacted us. And just if you're all in or you've just gone all in and you contacted us, we're going to be scheduling everybody later today. So we'll get back to you and get you on the schedule for that. If you don't know what we're talking about, go back to the first call and the first hangout that are in the group here, the Team Audacity Facebook group, and you can get all the details on that. But it's been fabulous, and so it's people taking control of their business. And so Kevin and I were having a great conversation this morning about people like talk to us saying that, well, I'm doing all the right things, Kevin and Melissa. I'm doing everything. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. But my question to you is, are you fooling yourself? And we challenge you because we love you. We challenge you because you've come here and said, I want to be successful. And sometimes that means getting uncomfortable. Some people, that's enough to make them quit. I'm uncomfortable. That's it. I'm done. But for us, we realized that being uncomfortable was the only way that we were going to grow. And so we, felt the fear and did it anyway, so to speak. And we just moved forward. And it's, we had to get really humble. We've been in this industry a long time, and, we could have come in here and said, you know what, we know what we're doing because we've done this for a long time. And we're not going to be coachable and trainable. We're not going to do the things that we're told to do. But all of that stuff got us to where we were, which was at the time we started here, broke. Yes, we've learned a lot. We know it worked out. Our people skills are great. We learned a lot. We've been in school a long time in this industry, but as far as how things work now and turning the corner for sustainable success, we needed to really just get humble and say, okay, what do we need to do here to just follow the leader? Let's just pretend we're brand new and just follow the leader. And that is the single biggest reason that we hit success so quickly. That's the biggest thing that I can tell you is the key, is to move forward. And I don't know, do you have any thoughts on that?
Moving forward, well, it's all about taking action, and I find a lot of people in the team are a little bit afraid to make mistakes. And as the king of making mistakes on videos, I'm here to say it's okay. In fact, right now, my wife is probably out of her comfort zone having... Anyway.
Yes, yeah. I'm out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I'm actually a little distracted by all these pollen things.
Yeah, it looks like it's
by.
snowing here in our backyard with this pollen stuff that's happening, and it's like snowing up. Honestly, it's like somebody blew a whole bunch of big dandelions or something around here. It's really wild.
But in all seriousness, I have had some conversations. I won't use names on here, but if you're watching this video, I won't use your name. But what's cool is that, sometimes you feel like you're stuck. Like, what am I doing wrong, Kevin? Like I've starting to get emails from people on the team like, hey, what can we do to enhance our business? And I saw an email from a gentleman who only has a few hundred leads in his Aweber account so far, and he's been part of the team for at least 6 months, I think, maybe even 8 months. And it had me thinking, wow, we teach people how to make 50 to 100 leads a day once you really get up and running here with Empower Network. So there's the challenge right there, that more sales will come with more leads, fill the funnel. Mm-hmm. It's a thing that we look at sometimes, like, how come the sales aren't coming in? And sure enough, we're focusing on being at the bottom of the funnel instead of up at the top of the funnel, when it's really easy to place some more ads, get back into the 15K formula and learn a new strategy, or even just go through and look at what you've been sending out and how can you grow personally and start writing about and learning from that experience. And the other thing I've certainly seen is that there are people on the team right now, I've had a couple of conversations in the last few days, Well, I go down the checklist. Well, have you gotten your ticket for Denver yet? Are you, no, I haven't. Well, how come? Well, I don't have the money. Real quick like that, I can't snap right there on the head. And when you say that so quickly, I know that's part of the problem. In fact, that is the problem. What happens is that you've got that in the back of your head. I don't have the money. I don't have the money. Well, now I got to go write a blog, and now I've got to go send an email out in my AWeber, and I'm going to go put a Facebook update. But you're putting that in your head like I don't have the money, and it comes out in your form of communication. You've got to be what's the word, all in. I keep getting go back to all in.
Well, it's like you're projecting with your energy. It's like you've just taken out a billboard on the side of a big highway saying, I'm not committed, and I'm fearful, and I have all of these responses, and quite honestly, it's that saying I don't have the money. Quite honestly, it's an excuse. I'm here to tell you it's an excuse, because in this day and age, anybody can get out of their comfort zone just like we did. We're not saying to you go do something we didn't do. We got really uncomfortable but we knew that it was in the course of making us comfortable, right?
Yeah.
You can't get comfortable till you get uncomfortable. How about that? And it's that saying I don't have the money, that is just bogus. Because just because you don't have it necessarily in your pocket doesn't mean that you don't have access to it. There are so many creative ways to get it done. I mean, just on the team, the stories I've heard about people getting to events and how they created something out of nothing. And, I had a conversation at the last event with an amazing person. I won't name names, and we talked about the whole thing of being so tied to one particular way of money coming in. And when I helped her to realize that your source is limitless, your source can, however you describe that, can be that's where it comes from. But when you say that, well, money can only come from these two places, and it's not there, so guess what? There's no money. Then guess what? You've just built a big brick wall that you cannot get through. But if you say that there is a myriad of ways, and I just have to figure out how, but I'm getting it done. I'm doing this. I'm making the decision first, and then the circumstances line up. What's so cool is this conversation that I had, and I honestly, it's so cool to have a conversation like that with somebody and see a breakthrough cross across their face, to really see them get it in the moment. That night, $1,000 got deposited in her account, something she had totally forgotten about, because she let go, because she released. And that's the thing, when you do that, when you can just release some of the energy and say, well, I don't know how I'm going to find it, I don't know how I'm going to figure out, but I'm doing it because I am going for it here, then it absolutely turns everything around. The energy is just, on fire then, and it's working for you. It's out there. Like, you have access to all of the same, manifesting energy as every other person. The only thing that stands in the way of you actually manifesting is your belief. That is it. But your belief, it comes down to, are you worthy? Do you believe you can do it? All of these things. And so no matter what, like you think that the problem is your money, but I'm telling you the problem is your mindset. So if you work on you and you just take that quote unquote leap of faith, which is really the most secure decision you make, then that's when you can start really moving forward in your business and in your life. I tell you what, it opens up things all over your life. We're talking about it from a business sense, but it colors every single thing in your life, your relationships, how you appear to other people. People will start asking you, wow, what are you doing? There's something different about you. So I'm just ranting, sorry.
That's beautiful. So, and so are you, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
So, in closing, guys, here's what it comes down to. Any challenge that you're having right now, stop, look, and listen. Really analyze what's going on and be honest with yourself. Take 5 minutes, take 10 minutes away from the family. Go look in the mirror and really identify where the source of the problem is. I just did a cool thing the last couple of days. I've been going back a year in my Facebook to see what kind of things was I posting, well, a little bit more than a year ago, like the first quarter of 2012 after we had filed bankruptcy. Like, what kind of things was I putting on? And not once did I say, yes, we just walked out of the courthouse, we filed bankruptcy. No, I focused on where I'm going.
Right. And
seeing where we're going over the next 90 days. And that's how you communicate is going to be all the difference. So
yeah, I mean, whether it be, like in the same breath with the conversation you were telling me about, Kevin, there was no money. And then, okay, so that's one thing. So, okay, so are you getting on all the calls? Because this person was saying I'm doing everything.
Right.
So, but are you getting on the calls? Are you getting on the wake-up call? Oh, well, you know what? I have no time.
Yeah.
So you now have no time and no money. How many people are going to follow you? And we're not singling out one person. Guess what? We hear this a lot. And so if you're telling yourself, I have no time and I have no money, but I want you to follow me. How energetic, when you're sending that energy out into the universe, so to speak, how many people do you think you're going to attract? It's like, trying to walk into a big room filled with the opposite sex and be attractive to them. You're not going to look very attractive. They're all going to turn around and walk away. And so it is the biggest thing here is it all breaks down to working on what's going on here first. We might think it's mechanics, and yes, there are a lot of mechanics that have to be put in place here. You're walking through the 8 steps, and you're getting doing your training and all of that. That's all definitely part of it. But if you're getting tripped up by saying these things, or you're finding that these knee-jerk things come out of your mouth, then it's time. It is absolutely time to work on the automatic things that are happening and say, okay, so if I want different circumstances, maybe I need to become a different person. And honestly, that's where it began for us. I mean, I can just speak for myself. I do not even resemble in the slightest the person I was a year or two ago. I've been growing for years, but the quantum leap that we have taken, because we were able to just submit ourselves fully to totally changing here and just being moldable. Like we were just sponges when we came in, and we just said, we'll just do whatever you tell us to do, and we're going to do it. And then the other thing was not identifying with our circumstances. Our circumstances sucked at the time.
Yeah.
They sucked.
Yeah, they were awful.
I mean, we would have never, if we constantly were talking about that to people, how far would we have gone? How many people would have followed us? But that's not who we are. That's the big thing you guys got to get, is that you are not your circumstances. People feel so bad about themselves, and we were there too. I mean, we felt horrible about ourselves because of where we were. When we were able to separate who we were from the what we were living in and our circumstances, and realize that, and spend more time visualizing where we wanted to be versus where we were, we turned the corner. Like when you can start to see yourself and that ladder of belief that I talked about, like that you're climbing that ladder, you all of a sudden you get a little bit, you get around all of this. You're spending more time around the people that you want to emulate, whether it be videos or training or getting to the events is a big one. And so, it's just time to, if you really want to run, are you willing to reinvent yourself? Are you willing to step out of the old movie into the new movie where you are the prime player?
Yeah, I just thought of something funny to me, anyway. Last year at this time, we were getting ready to go to Atlanta here for the first Empower Network event. It was June 8th, 9th, and 10th or something like that. And here we are in the middle of May. Yeah, right about this time. And remember Greg O, who's one of our team leaders, who's made a lot.
Great guy if you haven't met him, and you'll meet him at the event. It's
He's made
worth
a lot
going
of
just
money.
to meet Greg O. I'm
Now,
telling you.
Greg he was ready to play it safe and like, well, Kevin, the event's a week away. I don't know. It's should I come? Should I not? And I just took a stand like, hey, we're going to be there. All the leaders are going to be there. This is the first event. Do this. And if I had told Greg at the time that we only had $500 in our checking account, he would have been like, no way, man. He didn't have any idea, and he'll tell you this. Go ask him. He had no idea that we were recovering from bankruptcy and all that. We did not tell a soul except for our sponsors, Tony and Jessica. They knew, but nobody else knew. So
and they only knew just because they were our friends, and it was working out. Like if we had just joined with somebody, we never would have talked about it.
But even on the wake up call one day this week, it was yesterday or Monday, I heard somebody say to me, he was a question and answer, and he told me that he's like has no money right now, and that's the worst thing you can do on a public call like that. After you make $50,000 or $100,000, then go back and say, by the way, I was so flat broke.
You should not say that even to yourself.
No.
Not even to yourself. In fact, that's the most important person not to tell it to. Right. Stop saying that stuff to yourself. Stop regurgitating that stuff into your own ears. you're puking into your own ears. Isn't that an interesting visual?
Yes.
But seriously, it is, there's a great, I love the title even more than the book. It's What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. Shad Helmser, met him years ago. And I tell you what, it is so important to start to change your self-talk. And talking about like, I can't, don't, not know. In fact, one of the things I want to do in the future is have our good friend Michael Lozier come out here and talk to you guys about all of this stuff. That's one of the things we're going to line up. But he is the master of, because he studied neurolinguistic programming and then also law of attraction. So he's much more nuts and bolts with it all. And it's really cool. And so, but he's the master of when you're saying, no and not, and using all of these negative things in your language, start changing it to I'm in the process. When every time you catch yourself saying, well, I can't do that, or I'm not able to do that yet, or start saying, well, I'm in the process. And we'll talk a lot more about that in the future because it's been life-changing for me. But, we've gone on a little bit here.
We are in the process of bringing Michael Lozier to one of our team calls. Right.
Oh my gosh, it is absolutely snowing out here.
Yeah, this is awesome. Very cool.
So, but just so you know, in case we haven't told you lately, we love you guys. That is why we do what we do. It is the cornerstone of why we get up every day, is because we believe so much in helping other people and paying it forward, and that includes saying some things that you might actually offend you sometimes, and you'll thank me later, because sometimes it takes a slap across the face or a cold glass of water in the face to really wake up to the habitual thinking that's been holding you back. It's time to break out once and for all. And we'll be here, I'll plant my foot firmly on your butt and push you forward. So,
I'm just glad it's not me for a change.
Yeah. So we love you guys, and we will get everything figured out for our team hangout on Saturday. We have some special guests. It's going to be a ladies hangout on Saturday. So we have some special guests, some surprise guests that'll be hanging out with me. I'm really excited because they're superstars on the team. And so we'll see what comes up when we have a conversation there. But we will get this hangout thing figured out by then, and we'll be there on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern again. And just keep watching the group for any other announcements and whatnot, and go forth and prosper.
That's all.
Love you guys.